Good day, everyone. My name is Sergey Simonenko. I'm Bohemia Automation CTO and EVA ICS product architect and team leader. EVA ICS version 4 has been released in September this year, and this is what's new video about new features and architecture changes. EVA ICS version 3 was created in 2017 as a pack of automation tools which exchange data via PubSub servers. During 5 years of usage in production, its architecture model has been changed and it has got a node paradigm where typical services are connected via IPC. We have used WebSockets in version 3 because at the moment when we realized we need IPC, WebSockets API has been already available. We took this into account while worked on EVA ICS version 4 architecture. The new architecture is simplified but much more scalable. EVA ICS has got nodes out of the box where the core process keeps all items and their states and maps directions to connected services. EVA ICS version 4 has got a brand new IPC, we called it eAPI, based on our in-house BuzzRT, which allows clients to exchange data with the speed of light, more than 1 million events a second on a single node. The new core is very light and contains almost no logic, which allows it to keep states for millions of items. For example, we had a real test with 30 millions on a single node. EVA ICS has got services which connect to the node core via IPC bus. The service and microcall model replaces all types of extensions we had in version 3. The services can run on a local machine or they can be started on neighbors. In EVA ICS version 4 it's called local clustering, which is extremely useful for scaling high load nodes. So this is one machine, another machine, and physical services are located on different and connected via the local bus running on the primary machine. About the code. The code has been completely refactored. Consider version 4 is a completely new platform. Written from scratch in Rust, the modern system languages works with the speed of C but provides much more safety and is much easier to use. As already mentioned, version 4 is much faster than version 3. According to tests, it works 100 times, sometimes even 200 times faster in typical tasks and beats on not only EVA ICS version 3, but all the existing automation platforms. There are lots of services out of the box which provide authentication, logic, and field bus connections. Custom services can be developed with EVA ICS version 4 software development kit. Currently, there are kits for Rust and Python. And there is an article in our Infosys about actually building a custom service from scratch. In addition to Modbus, Ethernet API, SNMP, and OneWire, EVA ICS version 4 has got support for TwinCat, a protocol developed by Beckhoff Automation, which is also widely popular in the industrial automation world. One of the benefits is that ADS services can work via TwinCat bridge, so you don't need to make a complicated ADS routing. We have one entry point for TwinCat, and all others are working with TwinCat side services via the bridge. The default pack of services is huge and provides and contains about 30 services for typical tasks, which is far larger than the scope of this video. For example, enterprise versions contains kiosk manager service. Let us open it, which can securely and flexibly orchestrate HMI touch panels. So you don't need to keep login password on these panels. It's some kind of DHCP, but for HMI kiosks. EVA ICS version 4 has got a new Cloud Manager. There are two versions of Cloud Manager. One can be used in the command line and can do typical task without installing EVA shell. actually in EVA shell, cloud deploy, for example, it calls Cloud Manager CLI. Another one is Windows Linux application called Cloud Manager UI. This is actually a Linux application. Let's connect it to local node. So we can connect via HTTP, HTTPS, and bus-RTP. So, and it can perform tasks on local items. And if you have more than a single node connected and the remote is in the management mode, so you have administrator key installed. You see all nodes here, and you can perform any action on remote. Deployment. We continue improving infrastructure as code providing in EVA ICS version 4. The new version 4 deployment system is simpler than version 3 had, but is much more flexible. It can create items and upload files to the local or remote nodes, but it also can use the full power of EVA ICS API and communicate with any service. And of course, it can also deploy new services. So there is traditionally huge article about deployment and in our Infosys, and actually a quick start example contains full example how to deploy everything with a single file. Authentication, authorization, and accounting and security. EVA ICS version 4 has got a new AAA model which is more clear. There are access control lists for all local and remote items. There are API keys and user accounts which are based on a single or multiple access control lists. So access control list can be combined. Actually, we had already in version 3. EVA ICS version 4 has got FIPS 140 mode, which allows it to use it in government, healthcare, and other related setups, and actually makes the product more attractive for mission-critical systems. Version 4 also has got a term untrusted node, which allows to connect any trusted nodes to your cloud, fully restricted all provided telemetry and actions with access control lists. All communication between V4 nodes are secured and encrypted with AES 256 GCM, which is better than CBC we had in version 3. Not replication. EVA ICS version 4 application model is very similar to version 3, but is much faster and can handle larger data amounts. There are 2 layers of replication in version 4, same as version 3 has got. So it's push replication to replicate real-time events between nodes, and pull replication to ensure all nodes have actual states, even if some real-time events are lost. Additionally, version 4 Enterprise provides third level of replication, zero failure replication, which can replicate the full state of the full history of events, even if there are connection problems. This is extremely useful for charts, logs, and data analytics software. So consider if you have pops up drop, all events are synchronized later. They are not lost. You can keep them on nodes for any amount of time you want, 24 hours or a week or 2. EVA ICS version 4 has got partial internal architecture compatibility with version 3, but full HTTP API compatibility for HMI applications. If EVA JavaScript framework is used, the version 3 applications can be migrated to version 4 with just framework update. EVA ICS version 3 is going to be supported at least until the end of 2023. And our information system contains a large article how to properly migrate version 3 applications and setups to version 4. So it's not quite big, so it's easy to migrate. So, and about us, Bohemia Automation provides a full scope industrial automation software, SCADA platform, EVA ICS version 3, version 4. Actually, we called it already extended automation platform. and PSRT and in-house industrial PubSub servers, which can cope with any slow or unstable connections industrial world usually has got. We also provide enterprise level support for all our products, starting from architecture design for customers' projects and following with support of routine tasks. So, and this is our team. This is me. Thank you. Goodbye.